Did Disney just kill San Diego Comic-Con Hall H? Ah, summer. A time for beaches, barbecues, blockbusters, and of course, the biggest pop culture event of the year, San Diego Comic-Con. And with a little over a month until the sci-fi fantasy mecca kicks off, we're finally starting to get some details about what will, and more importantly, what won't be taking to the stage at Hall H. Just this week, we learned via Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins and star Gal Gadot that Warner Brothers will not be appearing at Hall H this year at all, despite Wonder Woman 1984 hitting theaters next year. But if that wasn't enough, Disney dropped their own bomb on Thursday when they released the schedule for their upcoming fan expo/convention D23, which will reportedly cover all things House of Mouse, Lucasfilm, Marvel Studios, and Disney+. So could these announcements be the nail in the coffin for one of Comic-Con's most hallowed events, the Hall H panel? Let's get into it. First of all, it's worth noting that Marvel Studios skipped San Diego Comic-Con's Hall H last year, and it didn't appear to affect their box office returns for two of their big screen offerings this year, Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame. Don't know if you've heard about how much money Endgame has made at this point, but it's roughly in the range of, and these are the technical terms, a ton to a major ton. Now, while Disney hasn't officially bowed out of Comic-Con this year, their D23 schedule is sending strong signals that they probably won't be appearing in any significant form, since they wouldn't want to preempt their own con, which kicks off a month later in August. It also saves them from their exclusive news getting lost in all of the Comic-Con coverage. As for that D23 schedule and why it's got fans' ears perked, as we stated earlier, the event will give us more details and most likely show off footage from Disney Studios, Star Wars, and even the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which Kevin Feige has said there will be no real details about MCU's Phase 4 until Spider-Man Far From Home hits the big screen. Now, according to the official schedule, Friday, August 23rd, we'll give guests a first look at some of its original content, including Lady and the Tramp, The Mandalorian, High School Musical, The Series, and many more during the star-studded presentation. But Saturday is where the real fun begins. Fans will see what's on the drawing board for the acclaimed filmmakers at Walt Disney Animation Studios and Pixar Animation Studios and get a peek at the exciting slate of live-action projects from Disney to Marvel Studios to Star Wars. As always, attendees will be treated to exclusive footage, special guest appearances, and more. So it appears that Disney will be treating its fans to something special in each of these panels. So it makes sense that they aren't going to spoil their own expo event by revealing any of this at San Diego a month prior. Now, moving on to Disney's main competitor, Warner Brothers. Last year, WB took advantage of Disney's absence at Hall H to effectively win Comic-Con. However, now that they won't be appearing on the big stage, instead showing off footage from It Chapter 2 and other projects in smaller panels, it looks like Hall H will be effectively empty. So what does this mean for the future of Comic-Con? Well, in the past few years, television has definitely moved more to the forefront and actually had decent returns from having a presence at Comic-Con. Shows like The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, and even going as far back as Lost at SDCC has done wonders for their numbers, and as streaming becomes more and more prominent, it would be smart for Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, and other companies to try and carve out a space for themselves while the movie studios sit the con out. Plus, as we see companies make bigger pushes for experimentation in VR and AR tech in the fan space, it's clear that Comic-Con is just as much about its fan activations as it is about the panels, so there's definitely room for growth there. Of course, another move for San Diego Comic-Con to take would be a return to actual comics. Now, the con didn't used to be all about Hall H. It actually started out with a focus on the comics medium, so it would be nice to see things come full circle and acknowledge the thing that the con was actually built on. At the end of the day, Comic-Con is a major cultural event for fans and will most likely continue to find ways to stay relevant. Even if all the major movie studios drop out of Hall H permanently, there are plenty of other outlets, shows, and events that will gladly take their place. But will Hall H continue to have the same pop culture cachet it's had in the past? Only time will tell. But what do you folks think? Is Hall H officially dead? What are you most excited to see at San Diego Comic-Con this year? And in vaguely Comic-Con adjacent news, did you see the clip of Gwyneth Paltrow finding out that she's in Spider-Man Homecoming in the Chef Show?
We weren't in Spider-Man.
Yes, we were.
Homecoming.
You were in Spider-Man.
No.
Yeah.
I was in Avengers.
We watched it 3 times this morning. Let's discuss. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and mash that little bell to get notified every time we drop a video or go live with the show, like with the latest episode of Nerdist News Edition, where the Good Omens cast and crew break down a possible sequel, as well as reactions to the internet shipping their characters.